Hello and welcome to Bitcoin US dollar technical analysis. So I decided to rework my chart a little bit for Bitcoin, and by rework I mean basically do a tabula rasa and get rid of everything that's in there, because the hourly chart pattern was not that clear to me, and I was not sure whether those internal moves were a wave 4 of the preceding move or the overarching move. So usually when those wave patterns are not that clear, it's good to take a step back and from the hourly chart go into the 3-hour, 4-hour chart, or even into the daily view. And I decided to go into the daily view just to get a grasp of the big picture of Bitcoin again, and not get lost in those smaller time frames. And in my opinion, this big picture looks really nice, and or looks really nice still. So this definitely seems, in my opinion, like the low. So I'm pretty sure we will not see prices at $6,400 for a long time, a long time. And so right now, this is clearly a buy the dips phase. I mean, there are no significant correctional periods. All dips get bought almost immediately. So Bitcoin climbing really nice. In my opinion, the next major target for Bitcoin is either this trend line, which is basically the trend line from all the way back here, where Bitcoin bounced off, and basically when Bitcoin broke this, it started its next major move down. So this is definitely an important trend line, and as you can see here, even Bitcoin tried to break this once, but got set back again. Then it tried to break it again, and I mean, this wave B even almost comes down from this line. So this trend line definitely important. And of course, the other one is from the long-term high, which has been in 2017, all the way to this high of 2019. And so those two trend lines, in my opinion, are really, really important, and definitely a cluster of resistances for which we will need the power of a wave 3. So in my opinion, from either of those trend lines, be it this one or this one, I just cannot tell right now which one it's going to be. In my opinion, we will see a very sharp and steep correctional move, which can go all the way down into this $8,000 range, and should go down there. And from there, Bitcoin should gather enough momentum just to have the power for this wave 3 that breaks all the way through those trend lines, and basically takes Bitcoin to $15,000 or $16,000. And those wave patterns line up really nicely. I mean, if we get this 1 here, this 2 there, 3 there, 4 there, and the 5 there, just to form this overall wave 3, which should take Bitcoin all the way to $24,000 approximately. Maybe we get an overshoot and we get even higher. And following this, I see a correctional move, and but this is a couple of months away. So I hope Bitcoin reaches $34,000 this year. But definitely on my agenda are $24,000 for the summer of this year. So this is definitely on my agenda as a target for Bitcoin. But then again, if we go back in Bitcoin and have a look at the previous move, I mean, we see that we went from $3,000 to approximately $14,000. So that's more than a 4-time increase, so a quadrupling of prices. And so if we just transfer this move to this move, so there's definitely the possibility that we go way beyond $20,000, maybe even stop somewhere in between. So this is just the minimum target. I mean, this wave 3 could overshoot a little bit and from there go down again. So we could even go to the area of $30,000 approximately, and still be a wave 3. So it's definitely possible. And but we have to see how those patterns unfold. But in my opinion, this looks really nice and really strong, and this increase should go on to either this or this trend line, and then we'll see how Bitcoin continues. But overall, I'm very, very bullish for Bitcoin, and this is a very, very productive chart pattern. And despite the fact that I don't really know yet what to make of the hourly chart patterns. Once this move is completed, we will have a clearer picture and go back and revisit those pictures and those patterns and just draw them in later. I mean, right now it's only important that the primary target for Bitcoin should be this trend line. This is the secondary target in my opinion, and from there a rebound, a correctional period, just to get bought off again. This area looks really nice, to be honest. I mean, if we use retracements and if Bitcoin should hit this high right there, I mean, you have this 618 retracement, which, yeah, looks like a nice target for Bitcoin. Bitcoin likes to go really deep in those correctional moves, so definitely a possibility. But I mean, looking how strong Bitcoin is, we don't necessarily have to go there. We could even just go to this 0.5 or 0.318 retracement. So definitely a possibility. And but wave 2s like to be sharp and deep, so that's usually the case. I mean, we have those wave 2s that correct very intensively, and wave 4s that tend to go rather sideways before going into this final move, wave 5. So yeah, we will see about this. But as I said, in my opinion, the primary target at around $11,000, $10,900 to $11,000, depending on which day basically Bitcoin hits this and if we get an overshoot or not. But this is my primary target. This is my secondary target, around $12,000 to $12,200. Again, depending when we reach this. But if we fail to reach this, this is perfectly fine. We get this rebound from here. We gather momentum, and Bitcoin should really pump through those resistances within wave 3. So yeah, all in all, looking perfectly healthy, perfectly bullish, really nice. The only make or break really to take off from this is basically this low. If Bitcoin, of course, decides to go down below $6,400 again, we will see lower prices. But then again, just $600 below this is the $5,800 target. So if Bitcoin decides to take another detour, which in my opinion it really does not look like, it should be a short detour just to gather some more momentum. But I really don't see this right now, and I wouldn't see why Bitcoin should do this. So in my book, we are in this wave 1. We get a wave 2, which should correct sharply and deeply within a very short time frame. And yeah, should get bought preferably immediately, just to get a strong first impulsive move for this wave 3, which should be the leader or the premise for the rest of this wave 3, which should be a really strong move and a very sudden and fast move, something like this. Yeah, so this should be, the 3 should look like this basically. Yeah, so let me think, but I think that's it for Bitcoin right now. And as I said, primary target this trend line around $10,900 to $11,000. Secondary target, in my opinion, less probable than this one, around $12,000. I think Bitcoin will save this for later, in my opinion. But yeah, who knows? I mean, if buyers go in, of course, there could be a move up there. And then a correctional move down, back towards this $8,000 range, maybe 8,800, maybe 8,200 even. Yeah, and then a very strong impulsive move just to get a nice summer for Bitcoin and reach $24,000 basically. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.